Hey everyone, it's Kevin. Welcome back to my channel. I am down here in Kings Mountain State Park in South Carolina. I'm planning to do a 17-mile loop called the CCC Trail, and we're going to do this in one night. Do about half of it today, this evening, and we'll do the other half in the morning. It's a very hot weekend. It's the second weekend in August. It is about 95 degrees. Thankfully, we're in the woods. We're under the tree canopy. It's a little bit cooler, but it's still very hot this weekend. So be taking plenty of breaks, drinking plenty of water. But stay tuned, stick around for the adventure. I'm glad you're tagging along, and let's get going. Okay, so we started at Lake Crawford. There's a living history farm over here. I might have to check that out someday, but not today. We got stuff to do. Bugs are not terrible, but they're out and about. Anyway, started at Lake Crawford, and there's about a 3/4 mile trail from Lake Crawford that connects to the living history farm, which is also somewhere along here supposed to be the trailhead for the CCC Trail. I'm hoping I'll find that. If not, the map's wrong, something's wrong, and we'll have to figure out something. But anyway, we're doing a little bit of a road walk here, trying to find this trailhead. All right, so we found the entrance to the CCC Trail. As you can see, right there's the blazes. We're gonna be following some orange blazes on this trip. So it's right off here offside, I believe this is a Cherokee Road within the park. So yeah, I actually just saw the park ranger drive by in a truck. No one stopped and said anything, so I guess we're not doing anything wrong. This is actually an equestrian / hiking trail, so we might see some horses, which is always cool. But yeah, just now starting on the CCC Trail. And 17 miles, counting down. Let's get it. All right, so here's a map of Kings Mountain State Park. We started up here at Lake Crawford. We took the historic farm trail. It's about 3/4 mile. It actually attaches to this living history farm. So then we started right here at the trailhead for the CCC Trail. It says there's parking. I didn't really notice any obvious parking, so I don't know if I'd recommend parking here. I parked up here more at the park office at Lake Crawford and then just hiked the connector. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna do a clockwise loop all the way down. There is a little connector trail here if you want to cut your hike short, so that's always a bailout option if necessary. But yeah, we're gonna hike the CCC Trail. I've been here once before and did the Kings Mountain National Recreational Trail. It goes through the Kings Mountain National Military Park all the way down. We actually stayed here at this middle campsite about halfway. Did the rest of it the second day and back out. So this is my second time here on a different trail, and I'm looking forward to this. So let's get going. Well, we made it to our first stop of the day. I assume this is a, this is an equestrian trail too, so there's some points, you know, hitch your horses and stuff like that. But yeah, it's 95 degrees, 94 degrees, and wow, it's hot. I'm sweating, it's humid. So yeah, I finally had to stop, drink some water. I think we're only about 2.5 miles in. So we got a long ways to go. Probably another, I'd like to get halfway tonight before I set up camp. But yeah, you know, just bugs are out a little bit too. I'm having a real hard time not looking at the camera. I want to look at the screen, so that's why I'm not looking right. So I have a hard time sitting here looking into that. I'm more curious about looking at my pretty face. That's a joke. But anyway, yeah, just taking a quick water break, taking a few minutes to rest, and we'll get back on the trail. Right, so I'm only a few minutes past where I just stopped for some water, and I saw this on the map. These are camp remnants of the Civilian Conservation Corps. I don't know exactly what they did. There's some signage, maybe that'll tell us, but I know they built the dams for some of the impoundments in here. So yeah, let's see what some of this signage says. I have no idea what these are, but I guess we're about to find out. So yeah, Civilian Conservation Corps looked like it was a Great Depression era program to help with the unemployment. and this is actually what built, according to this, what built some of the parks, or maybe all the parks in South Carolina. So if you see this picture here, this is the roadbed with these two twin stone towers. So there's one here and one here. So that's looking basically the opposite way of this. So you can actually see the old roadbed. So this is actually the old roadbed. This is a ditch down this side, ditch down that side. So all that out through there is the old roadbed. And that's what it looked like back in the 30s. Big change. So I've been on trail for, I don't know, maybe 3 miles, 3.5. At least I hope so. Still hot. I am sweating like crazy. Anyway, the CCC Trail is, I've mentioned it already, it's an equestrian / hiking trail. The first 2 miles were really, really generous trail. They were double tracked, so really wide, not really, really flat, and it's still flat. The farther we get into this, it seems like it's more one track, but I mean, just look how flat everything is. So it's a great trail if you don't have a lot of experience backpacking, or if you're like me and you're not in great shape. You can hear me probably breathing a little bit. Or if you decide to go do a 17-mile loop when it's 95 freaking degrees in the summer. It's not that bad. But just wanted to give you a look at kind of what we're dealing with. I am making my way towards a trail junction where there's a little bit of a cut through trail. So it actually cuts this loop in half. And I got it on the back of my mind to just do that and make this a shorter mileage trip, being how hot it is. But we'll see. I don't want to get to camp very early, because if I'm by myself, I don't have anything to keep my mind occupied, so it gets kind of boring. But I'm going downhill. Anyway, this is what we're working with, and trying to find a place to sit down and get some water. I can feel I'm definitely in need of some water. So it's hot, gotta stay hydrated. All right, finally stopped and sat down. Yeah, you can't see it, but anyway, I carry a chair. Yeah, it's just hot, so felt like I wasn't getting the water consumption I needed, wasn't staying very hydrated, so finally stopped. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I've been stopped about 5 minutes. I'll probably take 15-20 minutes total. I'm still uncertain what I want to do. I'm pretty close. Sweaty. I think within a mile of a connector trail that shortens this loop. And I could go to that connector trail. There's some water sources. I could stay there tonight and hike out in the morning, probably 4 miles. Because if not, I probably really need to do close to 4 more miles tonight. It's already 5:30. Rain's moving in tonight or after 8 o'clock, so I don't want to get caught up in that. I have the option to go to that connector trail, and I have to show you on the map, but I could actually do this entire loop, finish the rest of it in the morning. I have options. That's good. But yeah, just pondering that, drinking some water. Pack's kind of hanging out there. I'm on the trail because it's hard, and chair doesn't want to sink there. So yeah, staying hydrated, doing the things I need to do. All right, it's about 6:40, and I've been about almost 2 miles since I last updated y'all. I took a little break. Yeah, it's getting late. It's starting to get dark down here under the canopy. There's a horse camp, well, camp in general, but it's definitely a horse camp the way they got it set up down here next to a creek. This is the only water source I've seen since about a mile into the trail. So I just stopped, drank all the water I had, which was, I don't know, maybe almost a liter. Been drinking on that. Just refilled up my bottles, got 2 liters going. And I really need to try to get a couple more miles in tonight. If not, I'm gonna have a really long day tomorrow. And I've already made up my mind that I might have to get up super early in the morning, 5:36, probably when it's still dark, and try to get out of here before it gets too hot. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a couple more miles in the night. We'll set up camp. I got rain moving in at 8 o'clock, so I don't want to get stuck in that without having camp set up. So I'm gonna play that by ear. Anyway, yeah, just got loaded up on water, and pretty nice creek down here. Table, good creek. All right, so I knew coming out here today that there was a slight chance of rain at 5 o'clock. It was like 24%, just a little bit of a rain shower. No big deal. Somehow in the last few hours, that turned into a full-blown thunderstorm, and gusts up to 60 miles an hour, according to the forecast. So the wind started coming, and I started looking for a spot to set up the tent. And I think I found a okay spot. You know, we'll see what happens. Thankfully, the radar got a little bit better. It was a solid wall of red and yellow rain, and that seems to broken up. It's more just dark green. So hopefully it won't be too bad. This is only my second night in this new tent. I have a Durson tent. I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, so we're about to really test out some gear and see what's going on. But there's a tiny bit of drops coming on the tent. I doubt you can hear it, but yeah, we're going to wait out this rainstorm, and we'll probably be here for the night. All right, good morning. So day 2. I didn't do any more updates last night because I think where I left y'all off, I was just waiting out a rainstorm. So yeah, it started raining about 7:45. I just got my tent set up, got inside, and so I stayed dry. No problem there. Pretty uncomfortable night. It was hot. The rain helped cool everything off, but it only got down to 70, coupled with the humidity. It just, for me personally, that's not comfortable. I got out of my tent once to take care of some business, and I wasn't out of my tent 30 seconds. Got back in, I was just drenched sweat again. So very uncomfortable night. When I got some sleep, I got some sleep, but definitely not the world's best night of sleep. Did have a new sleeping pad I was testing out, a Nemo Tensor. And I say testing out, like I bought it to use, because I was looking for something more comfortable. And I will say that it helped. Normally, I'm a side sleeper, so it's hard for me to lay on my side on the pad I had before. My shoulder would really want to fall asleep. But yeah, it was definitely better this go around. So that's encouraging. Like I said, it was hot and humid, and it wasn't very good conditions to sleep in. But I think it's about 7 o'clock. I've been on the trail since 6:30. Got up bright and early. Wanted to get out of here before it got too hot today. Best I can guess, I probably have 9 or 10 miles out of here. And I am going to modify the trip a little bit and maybe shave off a mile by taking another trail, just because it's supposed to be 90 degrees by noon, and I don't want to be out here today in that. So, but yeah, we're on trail. Smooth start this morning. Trail's pretty flat, pretty easy to maintain. So making some decent progress this morning. Temperature feels pretty good early in the morning. I think it's probably 72 degrees, best guess. The Weather Channel said it got down to 69 last night after that rain came through, but I'll be honest with you, it didn't feel like 69 degrees. Anyway, making some progress this morning, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about what happened last night. So that storm that rolled in, I was not expecting. When I had looked at the weather forecast previously, there was a small chance of rain at about 5 o'clock yesterday. And I was like, oh, not a big deal, right? Well, I roll in last night, start hiking, and check the weather again just to see what's going on. And I'll be daggone if there wasn't thunderstorms expected at about 8 o'clock. Severe thunderstorms. I'm like, well, that's nice. Again, it is what it is. Not a big deal. Just got to be smart. So the best I figured looking at the radar was the rain was going to move in about 7:45. So I wanted to give myself at least 20 minutes to set up camp. And the wind started blowing pretty heavily about 20 minutes before the rain came. And I was like, well, I need to go ahead and get set up before this gets crazy. So anyway, I got my tent set up, got my sleeping pad, sleeping bag, pillows, everything. Got underneath the tent, and I hung out there all night. I didn't cook any dinner because it was raining, and I wasn't going to get out of the tent. I wasn't going to cook underneath the tent. Honestly, wasn't that hungry. I ate right before. That was at 7 o'clock. I ate a pretty good meal about 2:30 before I started hiking yesterday, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I would say the Nemo tenter is sleeping on it only one night. It was a little bit better experience than my previous pad, so well, that's slightly positive. So we'll take that and run with it for now. The tent I was sleeping in was a Durston X-Mid 1 person. Second night out ever in it, and it did fine. I'm having a hard time filming this morning. Anyway, yeah, did fine. Stayed dry. Don't have any complaints. Super easy to set up. 4 stakes. Pop your trekking poles in. Oh, there's another deer. Pop your trekking poles in, and you're good to go. So yeah, a couple new pieces of gear. Everything went pretty well for the most part. Summer backpacking isn't my favorite. It's just too hot. I need that 65 degrees and 45 at night type of situation at least. And hopefully we'll be there soon. But it's nice this morning. It's I've already mentioned about 72 degrees. So trying to knock out some miles quickly. Man, there is a bunch of deer. I can't turn the camera around. Wow. There's about 8 of them just ran across the trail. Anyway, yeah, knocking out some miles this morning while it's cool. Trying to get out of here before it gets too hot today. All right, to give you an idea of where I've been and where I'm going. Started up here, Lake Crawford, took this yellow connector trail to the CCC. I've been hiking this loop clockwise. I stopped here last night, thought about taking the shortcut, but I decided to keep going. Last night before the storm came in, I got about right there. Got there about 7:30, and rain rolled in about 7:45, so just in time. This morning, I got on trail, packed up. I was on trail at 6:30, and kept hiking the loop. Joined up right here with Poplar Point. They kind of share each other for a while. Walked right by the that shortcut connector trail again. And now I'm right here where CCC and Poplar Point split. In order to shave a little bit of mileage off this trip today, I'm going to keep following CCC. I'm going to cross over the Kings Mountain Recreational Trail. And then at the second junction, I'm going to keep following the recreational trail back to the parking lot. And I'm going to cut out all this junk. So that'll probably save me, a mile and a half maybe. I'm on a power line, kind of opened up. You kind of see down through there. Anyway, I think I'm pushing 6 miles today in the last 2.5 hours. So I'm making some pretty good mileage. I finally had to stop. I hit a brick wall, calorie wall. I haven't ate since yesterday. So got a pack of nabs. Got some electrolytes mixed up. Just chilling, taking a break, trying to get re-energized, refueled. Probably have somewhere between 2.5, 3 miles out of here. Would be my best guess. But yeah, just taking a little break, and we'll get back on trail in a minute. But right now, I'm enjoying my camp chair. Definitely pro camp chair. Can stop wherever I want and just sit. So, really nice. Okay, so we're almost to our intersection where I need to get on the Kings Mountain National Recreational Trail. And I've done almost a mile since I last talked to y'all when I was taking my break. So that's pretty quick. Mileage is chipping off. It's a heck of a lot easier hiking when it's 70 degrees. It's probably pushing 75 now, but it's a lot better than when it's 100 outside. 95 plus heat index. So yeah, this trip's wrapping up pretty quick, which is fine with me. So I can honestly say that I will not be backpacking as long as it's that hot outside. Whenever it gets down to the high of about 80, I'll consider it. I have a big trip planned in October, about a week-long trip. So I've been wanting to get some miles in just to kind of stay in shape. But we're gonna have to do that some other ways because, yeah, it's just miserable. I'm losing so much fluid, it's not even funny. My clothes are soaked, my backpack is soaked, just sweat. And I'm doing better today hydrating, but it's also a lot cooler. So it's easier to stay hydrated. So far I've learned that hiking at 100-degree heat, it's not enjoyable. So looks like we're at our trail junction. Let me look at some signage here and make sure I get on the right path. So we made it to here, this junction. We're gonna follow this blue trail all the way back to the parking lot up here. We're probably gonna have 6-7 miles today by the time we're done. So now I'm walking on the Kings Mountain National Recreational Trail and following the blue blazes. So, blue. And I hiked this trail with my brother back in the spring, early spring. It's really nice out here. I think it was 50s during the day. It got down to 30 at night. Like, I loved it. So, this is actually a hiking trail, so there's a lot more elevation. Oh, hello. There's actually a lot more elevation and stuff. It doesn't really just follow the ridges. It actually goes down into the valleys, back up top of the hills. If I had to guess, 1.5 miles out of here. So, yeah. I could keep talking to y'all, but I'm gonna knock this out, and when we get towards the end, I'll update you at the end. All right. Oh, goodness. Well, we made it to the end. Right down here is the beginning and the end of the Kings Mountain National Recreational Trail. Like I said, I did the CCC loop, most of it anyway. Gee whiz, Kevin, I can't film. Yeah, so this is actually the end of my trip. We do have a little bit of a spur trail that takes us back to the parking lot, but yeah, that's cool. So I don't know how many miles that was, 15, 16, but anyway, yeah, so I've done the 16-mile National Recreational Trail. My brother and I did that one. We actually did it counterclockwise, so we finished here last time too. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, 2 loops down. It's hot, I'm tired. Whew. Yeah, we're gonna go home. We're gonna eat a good meal, get a shower for sure, and yeah, take it easy the rest of the day. So we're going right here back to the trailhead. I'll try to get some videos out here in the future, maybe talk about a few things that I've learned as my time as a backpacker, go over some of my gear and just some of my thought process on why I do some of the things I do. Finally got some water. So anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Channel is fairly new. All this is new to me, all the filming, the video editing, but I'm excited learning more about it and putting out some content on some of the things I do backpacking wise. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.